Work this pussy, work this pussy, work this pussy, work this pussy. That word is so potent. It's so loaded. You know what I'm saying? And here we are.
It's very loaded.
Girl, isn't it?
You go ahead and get that energy. So good at bring it up.
but to a lot of people, and this is what's so interesting about this, to a lot of people, it's derogatory. It's shameful. It's a foul word.
It's offensive to some. Yeah.
To some, yes. Oh, you're a pussy. This guy, he's frail, or he's scared, or he's not tough, and you know what's crazy? The pussy is everything but scared. The pussy is everything but frail, and the pussy is so strong. In fact, girl. So let's get into this word.
Let's do it.
Around what age do you think was the first time you heard that word?
The first time I heard the word pussy, probably, I don't know, actually.
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised if I heard the damn thing from a mom's mouth in the womb. But, no, honestly, I feel like most kids, like myself, was probably subjected to hearing that word through porn.
Oh!
At a very early age. Statistics show that by 6 or 7, most kids will have seen some sort of a sexual act on screen, or some sort of porn.
All right, so then we're sexualizing the word, right? So we're sexualizing the word because that's really where you hear that word, or you hear people say cunt, right? But that's kind of new. Pussy is it's like a more classic term, I think.
I beg to differ.
Really?
Yeah, actually, there have been slang terms for vagina, for pussy, ages, dating back to 1250, and cunt was actually the very first word to describe it. The very first.
Well, we ain't talking about cunts today. We're talking about pussy. So
it's all synonymous, though.
It's
you can't talk about pussy without talking about cunt.
I want to focus on pussy first.
Let's do it.
Pussy has a different taste to it.
Pun intended.
It has a different, it's different. It has a different weight on it. And no one says, there's the cunt movement and there's pussy power, right?
Right.
And so I want to walk through this timeline of the word and
Sure.
When I think about the time that I first heard pussy, the word was, I probably my brothers or just boys kind of clowning each other.
For sure.
And so you're talking about porn, right? Which is the truth for a lot of people.
Right.
And then we can see, all right, well, it's being sexualized. And then you have the demeaning somebody. And I feel like those two things are exactly, for a very long time, what kind of characterizes how women feel about themselves in a lot of ways.
Right.
We're sexualized, right? And we're also, in so many ways demeaned or meant to feel ashamed and stuff like that. And that is really what the word pussy power, that's why we're using that word to kind of reclaim and take back,
I think there definitely that women have been within the past couple of years, particularly newly empowered to use the word, right?
Yeah.
That's been considered vulgar.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of it, I think, excuse me, in the past couple of years, especially when you had now, President Trump at the time, years ago, I think it was 2005, with that video of him, talking about
that resurfaced,
grabbing the pussy, that
right.
he could go ahead and feel free to do that.
And then there were women responding this pussy bites back.
Right.
Or this pussy grabs
so
back.
I think when that all resurfaced, that video resurfaced, there was kind of this new renaissance where women felt the need to reclaim that power.
Right. And it's a rebellion, it's a resistance.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying, that the word cunt doesn't have a resistance to it. Pussy really has this fight back, this woman's rights, history behind the word. And
I think you're right. I think when you say women's rights, you hear it a lot more with any sort of political activism. That's where you see it's on T-shirts now. It's on posters. It's everywhere. There's a group that comes out of Europe. I think they're called Pussy Riot. And they're all about all that female feminist movement.
Right.
So
and it doesn't mean that other ways of speaking about however you want to express yourself and your feminine power, because that's what we're talking about, the feminine power, that's up to you. But what I don't like is when, and so getting into censorship, what I don't like is when other people are telling us, right? Who are these other people? Men, society, censorship. I mean, we can talk about all the ways that they're, imposing their ideas on us, and it kind of goes, and that really embodies so much of the woman's experience.
For sure. I mean, just taking it back to how we just talked about, how did you discover or first hear the word pussy? And my answer was porn, right? Mm-hmm. Porn being or coming from a very male-centric point of view. Yeah. Created by the man. For men, right? Mm-hmm. So it comes from that. And being that is like many people's first experience with sex, in a sense. Yeah. Like, that what then does that word really mean to them? So.
Right. So it's like, that's why I feel like it's so important that we're not ashamed to use the word, because it's actually our word. It's our body part that you're referring to. And I won't accept the definition of someone being called a pussy in a derogatory, in a less than, positive way. Because when we think about the depths of this body part, I mean, come on, it has more neurons. Our womb has more neurons than our brain. It's when you really if you look at neuroscience, people talk about the gut as, a brain. The womb has more neurons, more, nerve interactions to the brain and the heart center than any other part of the body. It comes from the womb. And so when we're talking about our emotions, and look, we could go so deep into this, a woman's cycle and her emotions and her sex life is all tied in. It's so strong. It's so powerful. What other body part is a muscle and flesh, soft, has all these layers, right? And can create life force, fluid, ejaculate like a man, and just do so much more. And that's the thing, is like this ejaculation. People think, women can't squirt, or women can't. What? What do you mean?
Who said that?
Oh, people. There's a real argument that that there's maybe that's not what it. Listen, what can't the pussy do is the question. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That pussy could talk too.
If this pussy could talk. No, but yeah. Oh, what does it say?
I don't know, that queefing sound. Like,
Hold on now. Hold on now, bro. That's what she's saying. Hold on, baby. Hold on.
Just listen carefully.
You gotta listen. The pussy whisperer.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean,
spitting gems.
Listen, the vagina is extremely powerful. Then we have the cycle of regeneration over and over. Every 30 or somewhat days.
Of course. It's a beautiful thing.
I feel like it's such a superpower. It's underrated. And I think that's what the word does when you use it in that way. You kind of, you're undermining the power that we embody. I feel like a more conservative, or a woman who is more agreeable to society's grooming would be like, oh my gosh, you used the word pussy. But a woman who is more open and awakened to her spirituality, her sexuality, and her humanality, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Will understand like why we're using this word. Why is this, cosmic pussy? Because it's so much more than the word that they use in the porn. It's so much more than that little boy that you're trying to punk out. Like it's a beautiful word.
Yeah. I agree.
And for a long time, I didn't use. Like, did you ever use like the word pussy like in
everyday vernacular, like everyday just chatting?
No, right?
Not really. But yeah, I have heard it used in a derogatory way to refer to somebody. But the word pussy, I've been told, or I've read that it comes from the word pusillanimous, which does mean cowardly.
Yeah.
So,
isn't that crazy?
But before that, actually, I think it was like the 19th century, the word pussy was used as a word of endearment to
Really?
describe pretty, beautiful women.
Oh my gosh.
So it then, after the 19th century, or at the 19th century, is when it turned sexual.
Like everything else.
Like everything
Pervert
else, right?
everything,
Right.
pretty
so
much.
things do become perverted in that sense.
I feel like that's the natural course of a lot of things that are powerful.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the natural course of a lot of things that have a lot of information. When we talk about the woman's womb, you know, I was telling my kids the other day, I was like, yeah, you know, so my youngest is a girl. And I was expressing to them how amazing it is that the baby was actually born with all the eggs in her baby womb.
Yep.
You know, at 2 years old, she already has all the eggs that she will ever have in life.
Correct.
And that she would ever need in life, excuse
Correct.
me. So when you think about the emotions that a woman has, and, you know, our mothers, and we go back down the line, it's just one and the same.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what the womb is. We pass on the information to our next. You know, we pass on the information from our ancestors. That this is the portal we're talking about. Pussy is the information from your ancestors.
Yeah.
The healing and the pain that has been passed down, you know, through generations, through women.
Yeah.
Through,
And I like how you described it as a portal. 'Cause
Yeah.
when you think of a portal, you think of you're going to like another realm, another world.
and honey, don't they?
That takes you there. It takes you right there and beyond.
Don't they?
But when you,
You
talk
know?
about like other words to describe pussy down the line, you know, portal being one of them. I've heard it described as a doorway.
Yeah.
It is a doorway to so much, you know. And when we talk about cosmic pussy being that place, like taking you to a place that is beyond the cosmos, you
Yes,
know,
honey.
like that intergalactic world. Like, so
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I really want to challenge.
Yeah.
You know, when I told people about the name of the podcast, you always get that
Gasp.
right,
Gasp.
and I like that though.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. It's actually the reaction I want to see. But for women, I just want them to feel a closer relationship to the word, a closer relationship to that body part, and without the shame that comes with
For
that.
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And just a added crazy mega dose of empowerment and realization of, wow, like this thing beyond us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
And when we're
between
talking
our
about
legs.
like reclaiming the power and understanding the power of the pussy, let's talk about really like the challenges that are in place right now to even use the word. For instance, like when creating cosmic pussy,
Yeah.
how it's been such a challenge
Yes.
to form the business around it,
Yeah.
the LLC, because you know, it was rejected because the word pussy is deemed offensive.
Yeah.
And so things like that, being able to create an Instagram page for
Yeah.
it, using the word in so many different ways has been nearly impossible.
Yeah.
So it's like jumping hurdles to try to figure out how we can use the word that we feel
right.
is
It's like being apologetic for trying to be unapologetic.
exactly.
It's like, sorry, we're not going to say this. Can you accept this now?
And now it's like, we're
And-
like, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, we couldn't, like, now we had to, like, change, you know, the word, the way the word is spelled in order to capitulate.
And that's what
right?
happens in music too, though, because
course.
the Tiana Taylor song, it's just the word. It's actually WTP. It's not work this pussy. And then there's another song that I love by Nitty Scott, and
Yes.
it's called Pussy,
Pussy
Power,
Power,
and
yeah.
it's spelled with the X in the middle instead of not in the middle, but instead of the U.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other songs, because I love every song that has pussy in
Yeah.
it. That's gonna be on my playlist.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
No, but it's really interesting. Even in news stories, the way media uses
Yeah.
the words to describe that, you'll never hear them say pussy,
Yeah.
although it has been used in the past. But within recent years, for some reason, now that's been scrubbed, and
But they
media
still-
itself
but
instead
they-
uses like crotch
they
or
say
genitalia.
nigga
or-
though.
They do,
And they sure say nigga
They
now.
do. But that's because that's another way that's
That's
being
something
reclaimed
different.
as well, right?
That's different
something-
too, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as when it comes to censorship, what they want us to use, what they don't want us to use, what they want us to be ashamed about, what they don't want us to be ashamed about. It's still it's different. That comes with a whole lot other different things. But yeah, there's censorship around that. And then
and I get, look, also in terms of censorship and being very careful with certain words that come across as vulgar, because they may be trigger warnings for certain people, right, who've experienced any sort of trauma in their lives, right? Any sexual assault and things like that, that might be a trigger.
I don't understand that because that's just the conditioning. Because I mean, as I've totally experienced, unfortunately, but it's just the truth. I've experienced sexual abuse, and I can't say that that word is a trigger for me or ever has been. I mean, I'm a lot more healed from my experiences now than I've ever been. Right. But I want to say, even in my toughest times, I've never experienced that word as a trigger. I can't imagine, because like I think that's more so like with the word like nigga, like that. I feel like that has a lot of trigger on it. But the word pussy, I don't feel like it has a trigger unless you have a very specific situation.
That's what I'm saying. It depends. It depends on the experience, and it's all very personal.
Well, any word, anything could be a trigger. Sure. I just feel like that's just.
Pussy be my safe word.
She said safe word. I declare pussy. I mean, listen, I just feel like it's one of those things that they don't want us to use.
Now, does the censorship really, censoring that word really change the effect? Like you watch TV and you'll see like the word, I don't know, like shit or whatever being censored.
Right.
Do you feel like censoring the word pussy while watching a video or censoring any curse word really changes the effect of that video?
No.
Or the effect of the conversation?
And that's what I was going to say, because it's like, you'll see the word shit and they'll just have like an asterisk over one or more than one letter.
Like, I know what that word is.
They know what it is. Like my kids, they listen to the radio, and my daughter was like, Mom, when they have a silence there's a curse word? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay. And you could piece it together like we always have, because I don't feel like the censorship actually is effective.
Right. Well, that's why I'm so really proud of what we're doing with this and seeing how far we can take it, because I think there's a lot to be said and done with pussy.
Yeah, girl.
And we gonna do it. We gonna get to it. So with that, also, I wanted to ask you, do you have a name for your pussy?
I used to.
Like, I know, like, people like to name special parts, special things that are dear to them. Like, people name their cars, people name their pets, people name, specific things. But guys have names for their schlongs.
Or sometimes women name their man's, dick, wanker, penis, eggplant, Harry, Richard, whatever. Oscar de la Hoya, like whatever you want to call them.
No, I'm serious. Did you have a name? Did you have a name? For your
I
pussy?
did, and I can't remember what it was because it was silly. It wasn't anything really. I don't even think about like a name.
Did a guy ever have a name for your pussy?
No.
No?
I mean, except for, it's like there's things that are said all the time. Like,
okay, well, name one.
Jesus Christ. Mother of Mary.
Let me tell you mine.
Oh God.
Want to hear mine? Yum Yum Gush.
Yum Yum Gush.
Or Sugar Walls.
Sugar Walls.
All very appropriate.
What about Gummy Bear?
I'll take that too. I'll take it too.
That's cute actually. So I had mentioned this to Laura the other day. She thought it was hilarious. I definitely want to get back into adorning my pussy. I definitely want to get back into. I'm very into the decorating. We'll talk to you guys about this more as we get into the show. I'll give you all the details about how we can do these things. But listen. The adorning, like crowning your pussy, girl. Yes.
Crown it. I mean, like I used to shave it into the shape of a heart.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah,
It takes a lot of fucking work and dedication,
It does.
And
People need to
motherfuckers better
appreciate that. I mean,
shit.
nobody really saw it, but you know what I'm saying? I did.
And that's it.
And that's all that matters.
I feel like those are the things, like even with like wearing lingerie, the sexy underwear, you know, waxing, whatever it is you want to do. I love going to this spa, and my favorite spot, they do a mud mask for my pussy. Girl.
Ooh, smooth.
Smooth is her name. Okay. Smooth is her name. That's right. My pussy name is Smooth, girl.
Yeah,
so,
but what about when that shit grow back?
No, it's still smooth. Okay. We smooth 24/7. We smooth. Okay. We smooth.
All right.
Listen, Laura.
Raina's peach fuzz is smooth. Let's go.
Speaking of peach fuzz, and we talking about pussy, if you were to choose between having a jungle pussy and having a ball pussy, which would you choose?
It's really interesting because although I never will go full on wolf, wild
woman wolf,
I do let my hair grow occasionally. And that's the beauty of it. Just like style, just like fashion, just like your hair.
Oh, so you be doing the lace fronts?
You know what I'm saying? The weaving action. No, I'll let it grow, but I'll still groom it. But I also do like a smooth pussy. So
smooth. Oh, listen, I'm smooth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll do the landing strip.
Yeah, I like the landing strip.
Yeah.
I like a triangle.
Yeah, I like the triangle too.
The shape is very symbolic for me. I like the triangle
for sure.
But the ball I think is the best.
Yeah.
And
it's a hygiene thing for me too. Like
smells,
things get caught up. Like I'm just like
things get caught up. Listen, men with beards. Y'all can't say nothing about this conversation, okay? Because men with beards.
No.
That's all I think about, actually. I mean, they're handsome.
I think of how like little monkeys, how they just be like picking out the little lice things out there.
What?
I'm weird.
Oh my
like,
God, no.
That's I think a little like,
that's
all right,
even
you
worse.
gotta find shit in there. You're gonna find something in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
See, I just think about a woman's like wild. A woman who lets her joint just like grow out, and when I see a man with like a lot of beard, like that's what I think about.
But either way, whether you shave it, whether you let it grow, more power to you and your pussy, like
and
for
your
real.
pussy beard. But yeah, so we want you guys to just use this word, try it, see how you feel, like use it in private and see like. Does this, because a lot of people use it only in sexual encounters.
That is true.
Are you gonna work this pussy? Or are you gonna put it on my pussy? Whatever. But
beat this pussy.
Yeah, I need some. You could just say, just see how it feels to just say, I'm gonna get my pussy waxed, or I'm gonna get some new panties for my pussy, and just kind of destigmatize the word for yourself. And see how you can feel more connected to your pussy.
And ultimately, use whatever word you feel comfortable using. Don't feel pressured to use the word pussy, but we do want you to talk about cosmic pussy. So continue to do that. Follow us on all social media platforms. Subscribe to our channel. And stay tuned for more incredible content. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Bye.
Peace.